If you're new to visualization, buckle up because I'm about to blow your mind. The reality is, a lot of people think visualization is all woo woo or for crazy people or whatever it may be, but actually, the most successful people make sure that visualization is part of their daily practices. And that's not by accident, it's not because they're crazy or in la la land, it's because they know it works. Here's the reality: you already practice visualization every single day, whether you recognize it or not. Think about it. Have you ever visualized that Cinnabon that you wanted so bad and then you're like, yep, I'm going to the mall to get it? Or have you ever visualized like something so much you're like, oh my gosh, I'm scared I almost crashed into that car. Oh my gosh, I can envision this car crash. And then you get anxiety, you start get panicky, your palms sweat, you get sweaty. That's visualization. Here's the thing. Visualization happens all the time for us, but the problem is we're using it all wrong. So today I want to talk about how you can use visualization to make it work in your favor, not to make you anxious, not to make you nervous, or not to like check a box, but to actually make it work in your favor, and so that you can bring your big ideas, your big dreams, your big goals, your big visions, all of that to life. The first thing I want you to know is visualization is not something that I just think works. It's not something that's just by happenstance or coincidence. It actually is proven to work by science. Scientific research shows that people who envision themselves dealing with something or doing something have a biochemical response to it. So a lot of times when athletes will picture themselves running on the track, their bodies will respond almost as if it's happening in that moment, which is confirmation that our brain can go there long before our body can go there. In fact, our brain should go there long before our body goes there. Think about it. Anything that you use today started off as a vision, right? Somebody may have had a vision for lights and then they brought that into fruition, right? Somebody had a vision for cars and then they brought that into fruition. Somebody at some point had a vision for iPads or whatever it may be, and then they brought that into fruition. It all began with a vision. And so what I want you to understand is, in the same way they visualize that, is the same way that you can visualize your dreams and bring them into your reality. But before we dive in and talk about the steps, I want you to understand that visualization is actually a really fun process. It doesn't need to be like a task on your to-do list. It doesn't need to be overwhelming. It can actually be something that you grow to love. In fact, I hope that you do. So the first step in making your visualization practice successful is to actually know what it is you want. If you're like, man, I want to be happy, but what does happiness look like? Does happiness look like you're on a beach? Does happiness look like you have a new job? Does happiness look like you have a new spouse? Like, what does happiness look like to you? You gotta know. And here's where people make a mistake. A lot of times they're like, well, this doesn't make sense, or how would that even happen? Don't worry about the how. The how will come later. Your job is to focus on visualizing it. And here's the cool thing. I've been studying the subconscious mind for some time now, and I love it. I'm so fascinated about all that I have learned and all that I'm continuing to learn. But our subconscious mind is a rule follower, and it will go to task for you. So if you start thinking about something that you really desire, let's say that you're like, man, it would be great. I'm going to visualize getting pulling $1,000 out of the bank. And right now that sounds extreme because you don't have $1,000 extra dollars to pull out of the bank just because, right? If you start visualizing that and allowing yourself to go there, your subconscious mind is going to figure out how to make that come to reality. It's just fact. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And so your job is to start being able to visualize exactly what you want, not to worry about the how, not to try to make sense of it, but just to know exactly what it is. Which brings me to step number 2. I had a client of mine who would visualize what she would feel like when she actually was able to launch her book, and like standing on stage and what people were saying. And she knew exactly what she was wearing. She knew who was clapping. She knew the title of her book. Here's the thing. When it happened just like that. And this is the power of visualization. Use your senses. Bring it all in. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell? What do you taste? What do you feel? Allow yourself to go there, because when you do, you get that response from your body that makes you want it even more. Which also brings me to step number 3, which is involve your emotions. What do you feel? What are you excited? Do you feel accomplished? Do you feel empowered? Do you feel nervous? Are you proud of yourself? Are you shocked? Allow yourself to go there with your emotions, and your senses so that it feels real. Because what happens is, if you can see it up here, you can see it in your reality as well. So allow yourself to play it out. It's funny because a lot of my clients will say, oh man, when I allow my feelings in and my senses in, it feels so real and I don't even want to leave it. That means you're doing something right. So allow yourself to bring in those senses and allow yourself to bring in those emotions and really go there with what you're visualizing. Now, the next step is the most important step, right? Because you're visualizing what you want. You're excited. You're feeling great. You're not really wanting to leave it because you're on like this high. Now you have to think about what you're learning from this. So a lot of times in visualization practices, I'll ask my clients, what are the learnings that you're having in this moment? And they may say something like, it's okay, or just do it, or you're safe, or things like that. Allow yourself to learn from that experience, but more importantly, apply it. So when you come out of that visualization, what is it that you need to apply? What was a phrase that you got, or a word that you got, a word of encouragement that you got, some kind of like inkling or nudge or some suggestion or some download that came to you? Start to apply that, because those things aren't by accident. And sometimes they may seem really extreme. Sometimes they may seem really out there. But when you start to apply it and you start taking action, you're moving in the direction of bringing to life what it is that you truly desire. Now that brings me to my fifth step, which is practicing it every single day. When you practice it every day, you actually get a lot better at visualization, and you can bring up what you desire like that. You also begin to take more informed action. And 3, you're more likely to bring to life the vision that you desire for your life. Here's the thing, you cannot do visualization one day, check it off your to-do list, and bounce away. Like, it's something you gotta practice every day. I am such a big advocate for visualization, not just because somebody told me about it, but because it works. Visualization is a part of my morning routine. Every morning, I lay out my intentions through visualizing what I want. One thing that I do with my clients on a regular basis is I do a success place visualization. So I allow themselves to feel that success that they desire, to feel that happiness that they desire, to feel that safety that they desire. And we do that through my visualization practice called Success Place, where I allow them to really identify what that life looks like that they want and bring it into fruition. Here's the cool thing about it. My clients who practice it daily are the ones that are making the most progress. They're the ones that show up for their life in crazy ways, and they're the ones that are creating massive shifts and breakthroughs in their life as well. And here's the cool thing, because they practice it regularly, they can access it at any point. So if they need some informed action to take, they can access this visualization. If they need some guidance or direction, they can go into that place and allow themselves to pull from there and to operate from that place, right? Because the other thing about visualization is it gets you in super high vibe. I don't know about you, but if you start thinking about your dream life, you start feeling inspired to hurry up and get there. You feel in high vibe. You feel inspired. So if you're looking for more tools on this journey to designing a life that you love, and you're ready to take action, you're done with like talking, dreaming, hoping, waiting, or wondering when it's going to land in your lap, then I have just the thing for you. Use the link below to sign up for my new Success Place visualization. When you sign up, you're going to get instant access to this training, which will allow you to create your own success place, which will allow you to design that life, that dream life that you have, and more importantly, allow you to begin to make those decisions to walk in the direction of it confidently, unapologetically, and knowing that it's happening at any given moment. So definitely use the link below, and I cannot wait to see you on the inside. Until next time, I will chat with you guys later.